Okay. Good morning, everybody. How we doing? It's Tuesday, but to me, every day is the same now. Every day's the same until January. Get a nice 2-week break. Time to play some Phoenix Wright. Okay, everything's good, I believe. Take that off. And we're good to go. Okay, so we are episode 3. We are doing the Turnabout Big Top episode, and we are in the final day of trial, or I assume is the final day of trial. Trial day 2. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working it up. I'm working up to it. Teehee. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina. How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess. Okay. You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Oh? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Okay. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning. Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo? Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attack on the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I bought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my, thanks. So how are you today, Wright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. Okay, Phoenix. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you going to do then, Nick? Welcome, welcome. I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. Yeah, normal court is not as interesting as Phoenix Wright Court. You're only ever relying on evidence. You never ask a question that you don't know the answer to. You're just trying to frame the evidence in your best light. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyway, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to the court today. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, I predicted in the first episode, or in the first part, that Regina was the killer. She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Okay, Mo. You know what? Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Sure. Order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Sure, Judge. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. To walk the tightrope. Oh, Acro, how you got your birds in court? Name and occupation? Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Berry Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. Here's the testimony. We gotta get rid of Acro first to get to Regina, the big boss. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise out from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. Well, that's not enough there, Acro. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the skies at night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix, right? Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Dashboard. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, resting in his bed. He said that you are resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? Okay. I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Sure. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Very rarely. Very rarely. The most useless judge I've ever seen. The witness will proceed with his testimony. Around that. Oh yeah. Large thump. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed? That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside? I was indeed. But maybe something was contradicting what he said. Sure, there was a contradiction, I bet. There was a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. Objection! If there's a contradiction, then let's prove it with evidence. She's right, let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? I forget what he said. It was a large thump. Take that! What in the world is this? You just don't get it, do you, Mr. Phoenix, right? What don't I get? You're not going to be able to get through this one with your usual bluff routine. Your client looks to be ready to take off once again, straight towards a guilty verdict. You were bluffing? I will not forgive any more mockeries made of this court. Witness, would you mind repeating your testimony? Certainly. It's true. Resting in bed. Okay. A large thump. Okay, let me hear a large thump. 3rd floor. Resting in bed. That is correct. Still able to hear a noise outside. Okay. Okay. So, can he hear? Nothing to do with he can hear. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave that for now. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure. Well, Setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix, Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. A human? Human or an action figure? Is this gonna have something to do with it? Okay, nothing there for now. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him behind, but that's what it looked like. Okay. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true, I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. Okay, silk hat. Well, yeah, this was found at the crime scene, so yeah, that must be the contradiction, or a contradiction.
Objection!
Yeah, give me the evidence. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? No, sir. Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand. Fibbing is such a funny word to bring up in court. As always, it looks like someone had to open their mouth before sinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? He's the real culprit. Your Honor, on this occasion the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. Ha ha ha! I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's heart and mind. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the windows. He's so nice. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. That doesn't mean anything. Mr. Dingling. Do you have any response to the defense's accusations? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone take a good look at me. I can't even stand up myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Phoenix has a poopy head. What the fuck? Okay. See that, Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that is how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Miss Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Of course he did. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good, not good. This is not going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What? You must not have heard that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but will be making other accusations? If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice? Do we just go for it? Miss Regina Berry? Or is Bat actually alive? Could it have been Mo? No.
Take that!
You don't say. Uh-oh, this is suddenly looking very, very bad. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What? Oh, did you hear that? The sound of... Oh, wait, she said it again. Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice? The lion? I couldn't have been Regina. Because of this. Or was it? The pepper? It was in the cafeteria.
Take that!
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? This piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power. You didn't miss the sound... That sound, did you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You know it's the sound of you receiving a penalty. What are you doing, Nick? What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Okay, so he did have an accomplice. It's impossible for him to be the murderer. If that's the case... So... I'm gonna have to... Yeah. gonna have to prove an accomplice. Who would be the accomplice? So it could have been Regina and I showed the improper. So it could be Bat. But he's still in a coma, so it couldn't be. It could be Max. Yeah, could be Max. Mo is his name, not Max. Could be Mo. He's dead. So it couldn't be him. It's so Regina is still my number one choice. Could it be Francisca? She was there. Wait. But what's the proof? I don't think there is proof. I don't think there's proof. Can't read that further. The map doesn't really tell me anything. This doesn't tell me anything. Doesn't tell me anything. Picture of the crime scene. He's hunched over. Could it be the victim? No, he's dead. Ben. It doesn't seem like Ben would be it. Maybe am I just trapped? I think I'm stuck. I think I don't have any proof. Is there a way for me to go back? I'm gonna have to, because they're being so generic, I think I just have to do he didn't have an accomplice. Something like that. I don't think I'm ready to... I think he does have an accomplice, but I don't think I'm ready to prove it. So we'll have to say, of course he didn't. Now then, this must have been when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. What? Okay, that was right, because we got the music. What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? In his room? If he can't go downstairs, it must be in his room. And then he put him out the window?
Take that!
He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room? Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Okay, so we're under the assumption that Acro cannot move. So we have to go with that assumption for the rest of these answers. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What did you say, Mr. What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Okay. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? Saw him float away, float away. But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. This legal buffet. Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here. She's right, I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. So, usually, the witness on the stand cannot ask any questions. I mean, the lawyer could entertain it if he truly wants to, but I would just go, look, I'm not the one on trial here. I got nothing to... I'm not the one in the stand. You have to answer my questions. That's the law. I don't have to answer your questions. Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. Present the evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Perry? Can't be the bottle because it was on the cafeteria. He didn't use the lion or the monkey. Did he use the monkey? The wooden box? The buff?
Take that!
Let's go with the box. Everybody pause. I think you should try again, especially before someone gets the chance to say something. Yeah, you're probably right. So I was saying this piece of evidence. Stop, wait, I say, before you start over, you must be penalized. Shit. And if you don't put an end to this funny business. What did he use to commit the crime? Of murder? It's a blunt object. So that's what we know. We know it was a blunt object. Is it the bust? But why would it be the bust? Doesn't... But there's no other blunt object. It can't be this small seasoning bottle. This bottle, but... that wouldn't work. This is the only thing. It has to be the bust. It just has to be. There's nothing else that's blunt. What's that? It's a picture? It is indeed. The problem with it... The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it is a life-sized, but it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee certain death. What? Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. So we're trying to say that he died from a fucking drop from a third-story window? That's some great aim by Mr. Acro. Holy fucking sniper. I understand. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. We do love a good bust joke. So you're saying the bust fell onto the Ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. It's true. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. Well, Acro, you can't run away from things. Ow. I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. Also, what happens in real court is when I start asking questions as the defense counsel against you, you're not let off the stand till I let you off the stand. I get to ask as many questions as I want in a row forever until I'm done. So, no. Just say no. The defense has its version of the murder. Turn it into French again. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled. Which is wrong. Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Crazy. Crazy. Acro's physical state. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a very strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I mean, sure, but also no, it's not like he can't fucking hoist himself up there. What is he, just stuck? It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What's your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Crazy. Crazy. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it. Don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Oh? Please continue. Mr. Dingling? Yeah, sure, great. So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Quit whipping. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Alright, I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Okay, so you could have fucking lifted. Let's give it a little save in so we don't die. And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out the window. Okay. Why not? How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some serious, extremely intensive rehabilitation. But it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not have been able to see out below the window. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of Ringmaster's head. I disagree. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the Ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point. Hey, Nick. Huh? What if you turn things around? Maybe you think of sorta like this. Okay. If he knew the location of the Ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust. I know, we have the fucking note. But it's like this side of the window, this side of the window. So I think that's gonna be the answer, but I think it's a dumb answer because he's got a point. Where the fuck do I drop it? What if I just hit his shoulder and then he's fucked? I think I've already explained things sufficiently. Because this says meet at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza. Okay, not exactly though. So, impossible to know the location. Oh, but he put the box, and then when he heard it open, he dropped it. Maybe. Let's try it. That's what I'm gonna say. Echo, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the Ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over? The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the Ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that was exactly the same moment that the Ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean If the bus were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No! It's still super far-fetched. I disagree. So, another thing that happens in court is when you're asking questions of a witness, you don't ever explain yourself. You're never making legal argument. You are simply asking questions. And once all the questions are asked, then you get to make your submissions. And based on what you heard him say, I would make these arguments. But you don't get to find evidence. So you have to find all the evidence you need beforehand, and then you make your submissions. Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now we just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here, forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow. Okay, Mr. Phoenix. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Also, believe it or not, in real court, you are not allowed to whip the opposition. Crazy, I know. But there's one thing that this game got wrong. So you're not allowed to whip the opposition. The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. A small but strong lock? I mean, what would the contents do? Contents wouldn't do it. The weight? The size? We'll go with the contents? Do you recall what was inside the wooden box? Small bottle of pepper. Get on with it. Well? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? I don't see any relationship. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. No, Nick. You didn't think enough. But, I mean, I guess. I don't understand how I'd know what the size of the box. The box was a remarkable size. Size? Exactly. I think you can tell from the picture that the wooden box was very large. To lift it up, one would have been required to squat. Meaning that one would have had to have taken it up in both arms, right? Moreover, the box is quite heavy. It weighs in the neighborhood of 20 pounds. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. There's no chance that they thought about this. That's crazy. That's such a loosely drawn thread of logic. I can squat and lift this way. And squat and lift this way. It's so dumb. Doesn't he even bother listening to me anymore? I've heard what you have to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? Oh, I know. It's that dang monkey of yours. Don't forget, you've said there was no accomplice. There was indeed, though. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. Alright, Miss Wright, let's hear your explanation. It's the monkey.
Take that!
The monk. A monkey? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring. So, oh, are you saying the monkey did it? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. What? Acro's room? But the bust was a bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Yeah, bitch. Put the whip fucking down. Quit whipping me. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Gua! Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? He's very strong, huh? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order, order. I said order, Miss Von Karma. Where is the bust in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely That's not a fact, Phoenix. That it's possible that Acro did it. I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, that's a fact of fucking everybody. Moron! Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow! You don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what's that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony, except for all of it. I thought we established that it wasn't good. Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer's account, sir? Oh shit. Oh. Huh. Wait. What? I'm gonna lose all my health. So Kimmy the clown. So it could be the victim. Acro, no. Mo, no. Maybe. Maybe. Regina. I don't think so, though. Was Max there? Did Max go with him? Max could have been there. That could be the answer. I think the only three possible things are Max, Regina, and the ringmaster. I think it's unlikely that Max would actually be there because he would have told us something. Regina's too happy to see her father dead, so I think we gotta just go with him. What's this supposed to mean? Yes, what is that supposed to mean? Do you mind explaining that to me as well? You're getting barraged with questions, Nick. Why is that? It's because you're on the wrong track. Shit. Shit. What? When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. Who the fuck could it have been? Is it Max? It's not Russell Berry? What? Fine, I guess. What? On the wrong track. Alright, we failed. We gotta go back. I don't know how long ago I fucking saved. It was a while ago. Fuck. Now we're gonna have to go take a long time. Where are we? Lifting the bust would have been impossible. Location of the ringmaster's head. I forget. I think this was the right answer, if I remember. Yep. Okay. We launch forward, mashing. Okay, and then it was the weight that makes it, not the contents. The weight. Good. And then We gotta wait for him to catch the bird. I remember, yep. Yep, and then Money the monkey. I don't know how it's not the... Did I accidentally not click Russell Berry? The victim? Because that has to be the answer, is that it was Barry. A monkey? And then the bust. We're gonna have to do a save here. Right before the bust. Because we didn't get an opportunity last time. Let's just do a little save here. A little save. Circular argument. Spotted at the scene of the crime, right. There were two people there. One was a victim, Russell Bear, and the other was the murderer himself. Who was the murderer? Oh, do we just... Is it the fucking bust? Oh my, that's definitely what it is. It's the bust. He saw Max B. I asked who it was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Objection! Wrong. Au contraire, mon frère. Okay, Phoenix. Settle down. There's no need in court for these. There's nowhere more serious than court. You do not speak in crazy language. You don't speak in slang. You speak in normal English with legal language. And that's it. You speak very plainly. You don't need to add any flavor to anything. You speak calmly and directly. And that's the most convincing. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. Okay, but the bust is like on the ground. How the fuck is he gonna see? How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night is Max's bust. Objection! But it's tiny on the ground. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. Objection! There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. Probable grounds? It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Wait, just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree? Why? Okay, better save here again. Who put the cloak on the bust? Oh, I did it! We're gonna load. I didn't mean to press that. Okay. Who put the cloak on the bust? I don't fucking know. How the fuck are we supposed to know who put the cloak on the fucking bust? Taken. Placed by Acro. Photo of Max G's cloak. Pepper. That shows us nothing. How in the fuck are we supposed to know who put it on the bust? Was it Max? I mean, the only person there Was Russell Berry? Fuck it. I don't know. Fool him? You're saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? Seems like I'm correct. That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Yes, because Ben saw him go with the cloak and the hat. I'm fine, Maya, because he wanted a disguise so that when he went to go check out the murder, people might think it's because he got the note. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. He's gonna explain everything. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. When it smushed his head and then stole the cloak. This is where the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim, so ridiculous. And then he lifts it back up. You wait just a second, sir, Mr. Phoenix, right? As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just cannot... Is it true? It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound of a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. The witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could have only been you. Him and his birds. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. Okay. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claim. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick. What? The contradiction with Mo's evidence. The hat being on the ground, but the bust has a hat on it, so how is that a contradiction? Let's look at the bust. Yeah, this has a hat, so... Good morning, William. Welcome, welcome. We're figuring out. The only contradiction in Mo's evidence was the hat. But is it is that what they want me to say? That, I mean, of course, the hat on the bust is what Mo saw. So I don't see how it's a contradiction. So there are two hats. But I guess they just want me to show the hat? Maybe? The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool, do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. Oh, I understand. That is why it proves it, because he did see it. Yeah, okay. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Right. We weren't trying to find a contradiction, we were trying to prove our point. Gotcha. Makes sense if you look at it that way. Then you did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection!
Fine, you've got that one. But what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? They flew off. Oh, they're behind the bust. Ah, true. Of course. Do you get it yet? The cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust. It means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Yes! Order, order! That's it. Not guilty, Your Honor. The burden of proof has not been established. We have established a reasonable doubt for my client. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This fitness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Oh, I already know the answer. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. He was trying to kill Regina. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Akro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. There's no doubting that Akro deeply respected the ringmaster. Also, it actually isn't necessary to establish a motive. So the only two things you need to establish in court to convict somebody of a crime is the actus reus and the mens rea. Actus reus means the guilty act. So you need proof of them actually committing the crime. And then you need to prove that they knew that they were committing the crime. And that's kind of a shifting thing. So you don't necessarily need to prove a motive, although it makes proving the mens rea a lot easier if you have a motive. So if they stole money from you, then it's a lot easier for the prosecution to say, well, obviously he went after him to kill the guy because he wanted to get his money back, and he took his money back. So therefore, he knew what he was doing. He had the guilty mind, and so it can become easier. But if you just prove that he did the act, and then because he has the money, or it doesn't even matter if there's money, if you can prove that he knew of the crime, there doesn't need to be a motive. It just helps. So it's actually not necessary. Second question about this witness who left the window open. When did the courts get wheelchair accessible buildings? They've always been wheelchair accessible. It's a must. There's courtrooms on the first floor, and now there's elevators and such. Who left the window open? What do you mean? What window? Oh, the birds ever in court. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Phoenix Wright universe did allow a parrot to testify before, so I'm not exactly surprised that he's allowed to just have birds with him. Yeah. I actually don't know if you're allowed support animals in court. That's not a question I know. Because what happens if you need like a dog for anxiety? I don't think dogs are allowed in. They may make exceptions in exceptional circumstances, but I think the main rule would be no. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the washroom, and then we'll finish up court. Be right back. Welcome everybody to the stream. Give the video a like, helps other people find it, and subscribe if you like Phoenix Wright. I'm gonna be playing the rest of this game at least, so the next 2 episodes before Christmas, so stay tuned. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Save. Trial 4.2. Oh. December 30th. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? No, he didn't. No, he didn't at all. That was an accident. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Yeah, it's holiday. Hey pal. You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Ah, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective? Oh, well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned, what is it? Here you go. Huh? Is this yesterday in Acro's room? Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? Yeah, but fuck her and her whip. That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis. And we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What do you mean? What did he mean by that, the very end part? I'm not sure. It was pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Okay, alright. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it before it all spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Okay. Sure. That was such an unnecessary preamble. Just give me the evidence and fuck off. Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Aqua's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Aqua would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? So easy. Pull the magic. Magic trick. Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Okay. Maya's an unnecessary character in this case.
When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
Sure. It's great. Congratulations. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected by the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that? Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? There's always a need, and it's always my right. He didn't mean to. He didn't mean to. I actually don't know. Bat scarf stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. The pepper. Surprise magic. In real court, you can't, there's a rule. I'm forgetting the court case right now. There's an evidentiary rule where if the evidence isn't before the court, you can't bring it up. So also what you can't do is, let's say the Crown asked all their questions, then I ask my questions and I ask them about an event that the Crown didn't know about, then the Crown gets a right to ask further questions. So there is no surprise. And if one witness is asked about an event, then the other witness is asked about two events. So the event that this guy already knew about and an extra one that's actually not allowed. So every witness has to have the chance to be asked about every single event. So if you ask this witness about one, this witness about two, then this witness has to be, so the judge will decide whether this witness is asked about the second event or if he doesn't allow questions on the second event to this guy. So surprise evidence actually isn't a thing in real court anyways. This might be my last chance to answer that question. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix, right? You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine. I have to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro?
I was 8 years old and my brother was 4.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we are bitter about what happened to us because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at Berry Big Circus.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. No crying in court. Let's keep going. So, the witness may proceed with his testimony. Let's do a little save. That's when the ringmaster took us in. I don't think I care. I mean, I guess we'll just press everything. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster?
He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about the other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in. so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile.
What a beautiful story.
That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? So then how long have you been a performer? Okay, sure.
I begged the ringmaster until he finally let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries.
Dingleberries? Come on.
It's nearly a household name.
I've even heard of them in Germany.
The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
You truly are a remarkable young man. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of a fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. What? What? Mr. Van, let's ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Aqua would want the ringmaster dead? Can't provide one. But I do know, Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so full-heartedly foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russellberry Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things. Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What? Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. Okay. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in his court? Are you attempting to imply that Akko was trying to kill someone else?
Take that!
Regina Berry? This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
Objection!
What? Cross-examination, you are allowed to ask leading questions. It's in direct that you can't ask leading questions. Leading questions are exactly what you want to do in cross-examination. It's fair to say that you did this act, yeah? And then their answer is yes or no. You want yes or no questions, no opportunity to explain themselves, just yes or no. so that you maintain the narrative. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough, Mr. Wright. Allow me to. The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. I demand to see some proof. Do I show the blood? The lion? Or bat? I think bat. Alright, Mr. Wright. At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence. This better not be a bluff. You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Those two are finishing each other's sentences now. What? Okay, come on. I have the fucking answer. Oh, proof that he was out to kill the girl. It's the letter. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. You always gotta listen to the question. The question provides the answer. Inside the victim's tailcoat, Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order, order, order. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake. Instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted. Oh yeah, he couldn't look out the window. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it. Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he let the bust fly. Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina. Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. Moron! Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Sorry. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. I can't answer that question. The judge is going to know I'm bluffing. Oh, if I can't. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... Okay, yeah. What? Is this it? This is it? Well, oh my gosh, what the fuck? I have so much to get through. I did not save well that time. How is that not the conclusive evidence? Fucking ridiculous. I know exactly what the answer to everything is. Just continue on. I just want to continue. Get through, go, 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 go. Do I have to press on everything? I forget how to get past this point. That's enough! Can't provide one because he didn't want him dead. Go, 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 go.
Take that!
No! I accidentally pressed the wrong button. I meant to do this.
Objection! Objection!
Wait, what did I have to, was that to kill the young girl? What do I have to do, bat? Oh no, the note, right. The note.
Take that!
Okay. Let me save. Let me save. There we go. So we need conclusive evidence how it's connected to this case.
Objection!
I mean, it's the scarf and the pepper together. So I tried the scarf, I guess I'll try the pepper. I know all about it. The peppers. We'll try this. Achoo, achoo, achoo. Okay. It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed somebody with a small bottle of pepper? Foolishly fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answers this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Bat. Who is this? That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways of being a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. Are you sure? So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what actually happened to Bat was an accident? It was more than that. It was a bet or something like that. And she wanted to win the bet. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat.
Take that!
The pepper-stained scarf. That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina. There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. 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 Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident. And she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? The hummingbird. Excuse me, Mr. Wright? You've done a good job of fingering a wait. Whoa. Wait a minute. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal? But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present? Where's the crime in that? Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Smiling? The lion was smiling? Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lion sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. Crazy. This is so stupid. This is the worst episode I've played by far. This story is dumb. You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma? I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do, it's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper. That's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot.
It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves.
Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro, you don't mean, you can't mean, witness. Are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been, evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem with is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Look, I don't give a fuck about proving you guilty. My client's innocent, that's all I'm saying. So, yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. I'm not gonna go search his room. It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma's total justice. I guess I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max Bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright?
The bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. Curtsy. End of story.
It looks like you lack the final nail to put in my coffin.
But, what about the scarf? What about the note?
And what about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that Which is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now? You're Phoenix Wright. I know you know where that bust is. I'm sure you do. It's not even a single clue. I agree. How the fuck am I supposed to know that? Seems that this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings an end to this cross-examination of this witness. Hold it! Always holding it. Where is Max's bust? The defense need time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm just a bit nervous. What? We need time to do what? Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait, you can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose. Very well, the defense may proceed. He doesn't have a
clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon.
Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? Somewhere at the big top? Probably. Somewhere in the lodging house. I mean, no, she would have searched it. The only way it gets solved if it's in the courtroom. It's obvious the bus is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location. I don't know. With Von Karma? The wheelchair? With him in his wheelchair? Let's try it. Fuck it. I don't know. I have no idea. Sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? No fucking way that was right. That's so dumb.
I'm sorry I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright.
Well, you're a pretty big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me it'd be really easy to hide a bust under there.
Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright.
I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. How is he so confident? We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap?
Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played.
What? You fool! How could you? Got him.
You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, 2 of them.
2 of them?
Miss Francesca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now, to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now. I can't believe the Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. This never happens. This is not a thing. You can't just get a witness caught. I don't know. I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me make a mistake. Why did I order such a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro. No.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina, so she started sneezing so hard you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she
covered the scarf with pepper.
I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. And that she would laugh innocently when saying it too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried.
That's when you decided to do something about Regina? How dreadful. So you're saying you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh, Acro.
I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. Wow. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Not without my brother.
Strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. Okay. I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You bait me again. I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. Woo! Woo! I have no sympathy for him either. He planned that shit. That was premeditated. It's like, I'm gonna put it here so I can drop this big statue on their head. Crazy. No sympathy. Fabulous. But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? Yes, Acro was a bad person, Maya. That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats. Oh, I forgot his voice. Many congrats, but only at max, 1,000,000 of them. Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? Wah! She's been like this for a while now. Okay. It's all my fault. Wah! Sweetie pie. But in Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. Does that mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? Of course he is. Or I don't think so. I don't think so. Of course he is. Just such a funny answer. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I can believe that? Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making that stuff up about Acro not wanting revenge. Bat? I don't know. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Bat? That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then until he can meet Acro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician in the world has ever seen. Max, let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're going to help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you into court today? We've got to work together to make the Berry Big Circus bigger than it's ever been. Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry. Max. Seems like everything is going to turn out all right here. I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready. but I'm going to order a special whoopee cushion seats. Okay. I see what made the case. Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Aqua really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You mean Mr. Wright? As for Mr. Aqua's craze, I plan to personally stop by the chief prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. It's Edgeworth! Understood, sure. Sir, I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. It's Edgy Boy! He's not dead. Either you're what or French. I don't feel he's, you know, what, so he's has to be European. Who's European? Which guy's European? There it is. Episode 3 finished. Save. We're on to episode 4. But I'm gonna start it another time. So I appreciate all of you for watching. That's gonna be it for me today. I am going to stream again tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, tune in for episode 4. We'll see if we can finish all of episode 4. You think the magician boy is French? I just put on a fabulous, slightly gay voice. He could be French. He could be magician. But yeah, we will be doing episode 4 tomorrow and see if we can finish it in one day. Don't know how long it is, but might be able to. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.